Welcome to the Jamesburg Presbyterian Church. Today is Wednesday, November the 25th, 2020. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. One of the traditions that we have at my Thanksgiving table is before we begin the meal, we each go around and name something for which we are thankful. When I think about it this year, it's been a tough year for so many people. There have been a lot of congregational losses, a lot of stop and pause in our programs. Things that we wanted to do, things that we expected to do, have been put on hold until after the virus. 2020 has not been a very fun year for any kind of organization. Other organizations that I'm aware of have had to stop their meetings. They've gone virtual. There's no personal relationships, fellowship with one another. It's all done on Zoom or Google Meet. And then again, there is the whole school fiasco, students trying to learn their lessons while they're watching their teacher remotely. I know that this is the case because my wife is a teacher, and right now, even as we speak, she is in the dining room of the house teaching by computer. It's kind of hard for her to give instruction to kindergarten students on how to make a turkey out of a paper bag, even though they were given the parts. When she's not there to personally help them, the best she can do is show them how to do it on computer. And I know from this morning's installment that was a very difficult task. Many of us have experienced some personal losses this year, and what compounds those losses even more is the fact that we've not been able to have funeral services. We've not been able to grieve. The church has had some losses. I had a personal loss myself. So this year has not been a year that I can look at and say, wow, I really can't wait to do 2020 again. As a matter of fact, I don't know too many people who would say that. We just feel like we will be so glad when that ball drops on New Year's Eve and we're finished with this year, except that we're launching into a new year where we are told at best that we'll be doing the same thing we're doing now until maybe May. So 2021 is not looking like a fun year either. So we can look at what we have, and it's maybe hard to figure out what those positives are in life because we tend to dwell on the negatives. All the negative things in life, our lives are kind of like this little container here. You can crush it, you can see that there's nothing in it. It's empty, there's a darkness, and that's how many of us feel. It's really hard to see the positives. Unless you start thinking about it, maybe there are some positives. Maybe our lives have more blessing in them than we can imagine. It might take some time to think about those positives, but when we reach in and really start digging, we find out that, yeah, there are some things that we can be thankful for. Maybe there's some big things that we can be thankful for, like our faith in God, faith that brings us through the tough times of life. Maybe when we think about it, we can think of family that are still with us. I know that my family, many members of my family had COVID and survived. They got through it, and that's something that I can be thankful for personally, grateful. This COVID thing has forced us to get into technology that now reaches people in other states, in other countries, and I should be grateful for that. We were procrastinating launching into technology, but now I have an audience that fills a bigger world than just this room. So I still have a job, and my wife still has a job. And I know that there's a lot of people who have been forced into some economic decline because of what's going on in our world, but we can be grateful for the fact that we're still here and we're still moving forward in our lives. There are things in our lives that are blessings, and if we just look, we can see those things. They kind of like stand out as stars in a dark sky, maybe clouded over, but they're still there. There are things in our lives, if you think about it, for which we can be thankful. Yes, the political climate in our country hasn't improved, and it's not likely that we're all going to gather around some campfire and sing Kumbaya in the coming year, but at least our country is at peace in the world. There are things for which we can be thankful. Lots of things. So tomorrow when you gather around that table and you think about all the things that you do have in your lives, the positives, see that there's more there than there is not there. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We will be live streaming our church service both on YouTube and Facebook on Sunday. It's the first Sunday in Advent. We begin the church calendar. It always begins with Advent and then into Christmas. Hard to believe that Christmas is just around the corner. We'll also next week be live streaming a Bible study. It'll be on the conclusion of Matthew chapter 25, verses, I want to say 14 through 31. It'll be the conclusion of that. And then on next Wednesday, we'll be doing another devotional, and I just know that it'll be magical. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Stay safe, stay well, and look for those positive things in life. Goodbye now.